fight, and I had to use a Republican congressman to make sure that the procurement laws affecting minority business stayed in that stimulus bill. It was written out. We got it back in. Republican wrote it out. Senator Coburn. I got Congressman Don Young of Alaska with his 37 years seniority to take it out. No Democrat would touch the bill, even though it had that in there. That's what happened on that bailout. They exempted procurement law. They waived the federal acquisition regulations, which meant no SDB, no DBE, no 8A, nothing, just big business. How much money did we get out of that bailout? Zero. Not one contract. The stimulus bill went down, a week ago yesterday. My chairman just got an $800,000 contract yesterday from the Department of Energy as a result of the stimulus bill. We're starting to get contracts already. Now, one problem, and I told some high officials on the president's staff that we're going to have to butt heads with you on this one. I'm going to be your best cheerleader. I'm not going to go at the president, but I'm going to go at the unions, which you have given carte blanche to. Through some executive orders, it's tilted towards unions who only employ 12% of our workforce. Only construction unions, only 2% are black businesses. It is black businesses who hire black people. Large white firms don't do that. And unions have not been, no, don't get me wrong. UAW, NEA, communication workers, beautiful. Postal workers, beautiful. Construction unions have not kept pace. It is 2009, and they discriminate. 47 years after John F. Kennedy wrote Executive Order 11246. 40 years after Art Fletcher came in and integrated the workforce, they still discriminate. If they discriminate, we will not let federal money touch them. So on the stimulus bill, they're going to try to do some project labor agreements, which means union only. We're going to have to fight that. The first money coming out of that stimulus is HUD money, which has to be compliant with Section 3 of the HUD Act. That's Legalese 24 CFR Part 135. That's the Equal Opportunity Program for HUD, which says if you're using HUD money, 30% of all the new jobs must go to people living in public housing or under the poverty level. 30%, just think about that. This law was written in 1968 after the first Watts riot. It was strengthened in 1992 after the Rodney King riot. Are we going to have to burn LA again to get it enforced? Yeah, think about that. All the billions of dollars of HUD money and the thousands and thousands of jobs that could have gone to young kids growing up in public housing, getting work, painters, carpenters, landscapers, running the child care centers, doing janitorial work, doing computer work. 30% of them could have been in the workforce, but we have not enforced that law. And as I was telling the city councilman here, there's a new sheriff in town, and perhaps we can get some enforcement. Nydia Velasquez, Congresswoman from Brooklyn, is putting in a law any recipient of HUD money that is not compliant with Section 3, 15% of their funding will be called back as a fine. We're going to straighten that out. So that first money that's coming down from the stimulus is HUD money. We're going to put people to work. We're going to train people. Energy, my goodness. The Department of Energy is one of the largest agencies in the federal government. It's going to expand by 1,200%. All that money, and most of it is for job training, for green jobs, business incubation. We're going to do that, Cleveland. We're going to do that everywhere in this country. I'm putting together a whole committee made up of our board of directors, and we're going to go after those jobs. We're going to enforce Section 3. We're going to go after the energy money and Department of Transportation, the DBE program. We're going to make sure that that is a level playing field for our people. So when I go out on I-80 and drive, I want to see some black faces. I don't want to see just pure snow on I-80, figuratively speaking. Okay, so that's where we are, and that's the excitement. And I do hope the president who I idolize doesn't look at me like Evan Bayh looked at me. But I got a job to do here. And I know they gave you $200 million. I know you got to dance a little bit. But that won't keep us from sharing it into this field of procurement of the federal money. The tax money we send out, we should get our portion back. And that's our problem, people. We send our dollars to the big house, the dollars come back, but they don't hit our neighborhoods. It's policy, and that's why I like the policy bridge. It is policy that causes us to have 2 to 3 times more unemployment, that has us filling up the prisons and the jails. It's policy. It just doesn't happen. It certainly isn't biological. It's just bad policy. So we have to speak for ourselves, mind our business, and represent ourselves. So Cleveland, I look forward one day for you to have a chapter of the National Black Chamber of Commerce. I don't push it. We've had a couple of attempts here. Got one in Toledo, got one in Cincinnati. Akron may be dormant, had one in Columbus. But they come and they go, but it's based on local leadership. We don't interfere. We're just there to assist. We got big stuff coming. It's a new day, and I think America has hit the bottom. And all we can do now is go up. So I'm going to stay motivated, and I'm going to cheer, and I'm going to be happy, and I want to leave something to my twin sons that they can be proud of. And God bless all of you. Thank you.